Hey everybody, Zach here, back with Kat. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. We are finally going to play the Lightseekers trading card game. I'm playing the Nature deck, which is the green deck. She's playing the Mountain deck, which is the red deck, which is mine, but she took, and she won't get it back.
Death, destruction.
Of course. There's 6 different starter decks. These are the only 2 I was able to get right now. The decks will come out before the figures do on July 1st. I think is when they said that the official date for the figures are. So hopefully soon we'll be able to get some of the other cards. They said they will be launching at Toys R Us, so be sure to look for them there. And Amazon if you can't make Toys R Us. There's 6 orders, so there's 6 starter decks. So her deck is the Mountain, which has Fire, Earth, and Crystal. And her hero is Dolo the Mighty. And he has all 3 of those elements, but his superior element is Crystal. So basically that means she can play 2 crystal cards a turn instead of 1 crystal card like her other 2 elements.
And he's very shiny.
And he's shiny. I'm going to say his name is Trianu, because it sounds like Keanu, and that's funnier. He has the 3 nature order elements, which is animal, forest, and soul, but his superior is forest, so he can play 2 forest cards a turn. So we've played a couple of games already. We pretty much have it down. It's funny that I chose these 2 decks, because their abilities like exactly counteract each other. We both have abilities that say draw 2 cards, but her ability damages her for 2, and my ability heals her for 3. So if we keep doing it back and forth, basically she gains infinite life and infinite cards. I'm not going to go over every rule in this video. I will, talk about what we're doing and talk about things that come up, but hopefully PlayFusion on their website will have the actual rule sheet on there pretty soon. And we're also not using the little cutout standees that come with each deck to track our life, because they are very thin and very finicky, and if we sneezed or anything, they'd go flying. So we just have little glass beads to track our health, but I'll have it on the corners of the screens as well. And also, thank you PlayFusion for actually answering me. They actually gave me a file that has all these card images in them, so I can actually pop them up on the screen and show you guys when we play, instead of showing you my card, and then you'll be able to scan them before I do and ruin everything. So just be nice and don't scan my cards if that comes up. Alright, so you randomly decide who goes first. I have 30 health, because my hero card says I have 30. She has 31 health, so she starts with 1 more. But we're going to randomly decide that I go first. Good?
Okay.
Okay. So the first player draws 4 cards. The next player draws 5, the next player draws 6, the next player draws 7, and the next player to that draws 7. The game is built from the ground up to be a multiplayer game. So 2-player game, it's just first person 4, second player to 5. So we're going to draw our cards. There is no mulligan in this game. You are stuck with what you get. And there's basically 2 types of cards in your decks. There's action cards and combo cards. Action cards come in a bunch of different varieties. They can be attacks, defense, buffs, and items. And combos can also come in all 4 of those, I believe. I haven't seen a combo item yet. But they're all pretty self-explanatory. Attacks do something to your opponent. Defense do something to you. Buffs buff you up. And then items equip to your hero and do things. These 2 starter decks don't have any items, so you don't have to worry about that. And combos are basically your super attacks. You only get 5 combos in your deck, and they all have to be unique. So combos are your ultra moves, basically. Alright, so in the game, you only get 2 actions per turn. Everything you do costs an action, basically. So you basically can do 2 actions, or you can do an ability once a turn, and an action, or you can play a combo card. And then at the end of the turn, you draw cards for every action you didn't do. So if you just pass and do nothing, you draw 2 cards. You play 1 card, draw a card, so on and so forth. And if you play a combo, you can draw a card in the turn too. Alright, so I'm going to be playing first. I can do whatever I want. So to start out with, I'm going to play a buff. I'm going to play Tree Sprout. So buffs go into play and stay on your side of the field. And they have these symbols in the top corners of the cards and the little rotate icon. So basically buffs, just like a buff in an MMO or other RPG kind of game, they activate and then do some kind of buff to you for a certain amount of time. So every turn they're going to rotate counterclockwise, and you'll do what the corner of the card says, basically. We'll get into that later on. So that's one of my actions. That element at the top is forest, and my superior element is forest. So that means I can play 2 forest cards or one of each of all the cards. So my next action, I'm just going to play an attack. So I just say I'm going to play it and then discard it. This is Sneaky Creeble. It does 4 damage and it ignores any damage reducing effects. So basically she just takes 4 damage. And this isn't like Magic or most other card games. There's no instance in your hand you can play a trap card or anything like that. You just do the card, do what it says, and discard it. So those are my 2 actions. I can't do anything else, so I'm going to pass to her turn.
So for my turn, I'm going to use Dolo the Mighty's ability. I'll take 2 damage, draw 2 cards.
So your heroes have abilities. Some of your cards in play can also have abilities, but you can ever only use 1 ability a turn. So she used her 1 ability, but she still gets to do 1 more action.
And with this action, I'm going to put out Prism Cannon. It's going to be, the corners of the card will indicate how much damage I do, which eventually I will do 8 damage to you.
So basically it's a cannon that has to take time to load up and shoot me in the face.
Yep.
So the X is in the top. I didn't mention this before. When you see an X in the corner, like every other card game, X always means like it's a stand-in for some other number. In this game, X just means literally nothing. When you see an X, you just ignore what the card says. So basically 3 turns this card does nothing. The 4th turn is going to hit me for 8. Alright, so now it comes to my turn. The way the turn structure works is you'd start with the buff phase, where you rotate every buff you have and do all the abilities if they have something. So this rotated from an X to a 2, and his card says corner, which is that icon, healing, and then draw 1 card. So I heal for 2, and I get to draw a card. And you can heal past your starting amount, you can just never heal past 35. Alright, so now my action phase, so I get my 2 actions. How many cards in your hand?
6.
6? Okay.
Yeah.
So how about we'll play Mantix Raider for my attack. So this card is worded really weirdly. The card reads damage equal to the total number of cards of chosen category, attack, buff, defender item in your precipitous hand plus 3. In every other card game, that's going to read, look at your opponent's hand, or it's going to say, name a card, look at your opponent's hand, and then see it. It doesn't say to look at your opponent's hand on this card, but you have to, otherwise there's no way to tell if your opponent's lying or not. So I have to pick attack, buffer, item, or defend.
I'm so untrustworthy.
She is. So I'm going to say buffs.
Buffs?
Yes.
Bad choice.
So show me your hand. So there's 2 buffs. So this does 2 plus 3, so you take 5 damage.
Okay.
And then my attack just gets this card. Alright, so then my second action, I'm going to play Umbron Informant. And I didn't mention this last time, but these gray cards are unaligned cards, so they can go into any deck and they have no elements. You can play as many as you want, up to 2 a turn. It says draw cards that have as many cards in my hand as my enemy, which is her. So you have 6?
Yeah.
So I get to draw 5 cards. So that worked out pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so her turn. So first thing she does is rotate her buff.
Yep.
And now she can do stuff.
I'm going to play Enchanted Soil. It's going to be my second buff. And then
You also have as many buffs in play as you'd like.
I'm going to play Lava Bouncer. It does 2 damage. The recipient moves 2 action cards of a category you were choosing. So I'm going to choose buff because I don't want you to have any combo buffs.
Okay. So this is the same thing last time. It doesn't say look at your opponent's hand, but there's no way to know if they're lying unless you do. Does it say action cards?
Yes. You
Okay.
move 2 action cards.
So I want to get rid of my combos.
I want to get
Combos aren't actions. And you said buffs?
buffs, yes.
Okay. So I have 1, 2, attack, 3 buffs, and a combo.
Okay.
So I move all these to my deck.
You just move 2 of a category of my choosing.
Oh, so I get to pick.
Yes.
So
And you take 2 damage.
and I take 2 damage. So take 2. I'm gonna put these 2 back in my deck. And once again, the card doesn't say it, but if you move stuff to your deck, you have to shuffle the deck afterwards, like any other card game. So shuffle these up. So those were her 2 actions. So she can't do anything else, so my turn. So first thing I do is rotate the buffs. So now it's a 1, so we only heal 1. I still get to draw a card. And now we got 2 actions. So can't play the awesome combo. I'm going to play Oakthorn Warrior for my attack. It does 3 damage, but increases this damage by 3 for if the recipient attacked me last turn, which she did. So she takes 6 damage. And then I will play Spectral Mantics as my buff. It does corner damage to your target, and I can restart the buff when I get healed for 1 or more. Restart just means put it back upright. Buffs also, if they ever turn all the way back to the top right position, they expire and get discarded. And if they ever turn to a corner where there's not a symbol, they also expire and get discarded. So those are my 2 actions, so I'm done, so her turn.
So I rotate my buffs. I'm going to heal for 2, but instead of healing, I'm just going to use my ability.
Yep, so she heals for 2, and she immediately uses her ability and draws 2.
Yep.
So now she has 1 action.
I'm going to use Crystal Bat, give you 3 damage, and I'll heal for 3.
Okay, so Crystal Bat does 3 to me, and she heals 3.
Nice.
So that was her 1 action, so she's done.
Yep.
So my turn. So this rotates through a corner without a symbol, so it gets discarded. This rotates through a corner with 2, so she'll deal 2 damage to him. So it'll deal 2 damage to her.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Alright, so then my turn. I'm actually going to use my ability, so I get to draw 2 cards, but she gets to heal for 3. And then I'm just going to not pass. Okay, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play Reckless Spirit for my second action. It does 3 damage and it removes 1 buff. Since it's an attack, that means it always picks her. So let's get Prism Cannon out of there before it explodes.
Okay.
Okay, so her turn. So she rotates her buffs.
Heal for 3. I don't even know where this is.
That's where it was.
Okay. I'm going to play Magma Worm.
So another buff.
Then, how many cards do you have?
I have 4 cards.
4 cards. I'm going to pass and draw a card.
Okay. So my turn?
Yep.
I rotate this. She takes 2 more damage. And then I'm going to play a combo for my turn. So combos use up both your actions. So you only get to play 1 combo a turn. So the way combos work is they have element icons in the top, and instead of this being a restriction on to play it, which it is, you have to have those cards in your hand to pay for this combo. So I have to have a spirit in a forest in my hand. And the fun thing about that is if you have other combos, you can use those to pay for those combos as well. So I can actually pay for this combo with this 1 card, because it's 1 forest and 1 soul, so 1 forest, 1 soul. And instead of discarding them, every time you pay for a combo, you actually shuffle them back into your deck. So basically combos are really, really good, because they're harder to play, but you don't lose any cards technically, you just put them right back in your deck. So this is a combo, so it goes here, it doesn't do anything yet. And that was my whole action for the turn, because combos take up your whole turn, but you do get to draw a card at the end of the turn if you play a combo. So now it's her turn.
Okay. Rotate my buffs. Heal for
So
3,
she
or...
heals for 3. And then what does Magma Worm do?
You take 1 damage, and I reduce your healing by 1.
Alright, so 1 damage.
Then I'm going to use my ability.
Okay.
Draw 2. And then I'm going to play another Magma Worm.
Okay. So that's her turn. So my turn. This rotates and expires. This rotates and I heal 4, but that prevents 1, so I only heal 3. And then I will use my ability to draw 2 cards. So she gets to heal for 3. Good. And then I should have done that the other way around. I'm gonna play this buff. It will reduce damage by the corner, so 3. And I end my turn.
Okay.
So she rotates all of her buffs.
This one expires.
Yeah, since it rotated all the way back to original position, it expires. I take 2.
You take 3.
And then...
Yeah, you take 3
Right.
altogether.
But actually, this is reducing all damage by 3, so...
This is also reducing the amount of healing.
Right, I'm not healing though.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So basically, that does 2 damage and it's reduced by 3, so 0, and then 1 damage reduced by 3, which is 0, so nothing happens.
Either way, you're gonna be really sad because I'm gonna burn your 2.
Okay, so
buffs.
Crystal Leech says burn and then remove 2 buffs.
Yep.
So these are both gone, and that sucks. And burn is a keyword that says when it goes to your discard pile, it can't leave the discard pile. So that's kind of like a... That'll be more important in the future, I guess. There's not a lot of things to do with stuff in the discard pile right now.
The fun thing is, though, I have a tag accumulation.
That was your 1.
That's my 1. So this is my second one. You can use Stone Scribe. So instead of discarding stored cards under this card, if the buff expires, move stored cards to the deck.
Okay, but that's already discarded.
Oh, it's already discarded.
Yeah, we played that first. So basically now, every time she discards a card, she puts it under there instead, and then when that rotates all around or it gets removed, she gets to put them back in her deck instead of discarding them.
So, question out of curiosity, if I had played that in reverse and played my buff first and my attack second, would that then have gone onto the card?
Yes.
That would have been better to do.
Yes.
Okay.
But no takebacks.
No.
Alright, so I'm going to play a combo. I'm going to play Beast Control. It costs 2 Beast, I think is what that is. And I have 2 Beast cards. So I'm going to put them into my deck, shuffle it up. And this is a buff, so it stays in play, and it has an X, so it doesn't do anything. So I'm going to shuffle up, and then draw my card for playing a combo, and then that's my turn. So there's my 1 card. So her turn.
Okay.
So rotate all her buffs. Alright, so I'm taking 2 and 2, so 4 damage.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. That rotates 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Actually, you actually play your buffs from left to right, and from oldest to newest. So that's actually how it's supposed to be.
I'm gonna take 2 damage. Draw 2 cards.
Okay. So she has 1 action left.
Not what I wanted to actually have. Okay. Then I'm gonna play Flame Bat and damage you for 5.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. And then he goes underneath him, right?
Yep. So instead of discarding it, that card's going to keep it instead.
Okay. Here we go.
Alright, so my turn. I rotate my buffs. And there's a 7 there, but that's an attack ability. So it's just like my hero ability. I can only use 1 ability a turn as one of my actions. So it doesn't do it automatically, basically. So my turn. I am going to use that ability for my ability for the turn. So it does 7 damage to you.
Okay.
So you go down to 11. And I'm going to play Frenzied Creeble for my second action. It does 3 damage. Increase it by 3 if I have 3 or less cards in my hand. I've only got 1, so she takes 6 more. Down to 5. And then I'm done.
Okay.
So rotate all your buffs. So that one expires, but I still take 2 damage from that one. And it goes onto that because of that card.
Yep. I am gonna flirt with destruction here.
She's making that. You know, next turn I just do that and you're dead, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Because crap.
Because crap?
I can't use combo buff because I've already used my ability.
Right.
No.
So I think she just killed herself.
I did kill myself. I got what I needed, but
So she was trying to draw cards to do a combo, and she forgot that if you use your ability, you that takes you can't do the combo for the turn because combo takes up your whole turn.
I'm just gonna put that there. That was not gonna save me.
Yeah, it does reduce damage, but only by nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna come back to my turn. This is gonna rotate, and I'm just gonna use that for my ability to do 7 damage to her.
Either way, I would have been done.
Yeah.
Like it was.
So she goes to 0.
Yep.
Okay, so that game actually went by pretty quick. So we're gonna do one more game. This is the one that decides everything.
Maybe if I'm not cursing too much.
What?
I keep saying damn.
Don't do that.
I'm trying not to.
I'm going to actually bleep you. Okay, I do need to stop this recording though.
Just do like a little kitten meow or something.